Christmas, y'all. It's Timidity. Happy fucking Christmas. Look at my drip. Look at the jewelry. Don't you love it? I love it. Anyway, don't be afraid to just go full on mask off with it with your sexual partners and tell them all your wildest fantasies. I can assure you, you'll either scare away, like, sure, you might scare away some of the hoes. That's okay. That's okay. And hoes is genderless, so I don't care if they're like girl, boy, non-binary. You might scare off a few people, but you also might attract the shit out of people who are really into what you're into. Like, I don't already know if I mentioned this, but, you know, one of the guys I dated in the past when I was like, okay, I won't say my age, because I can't say my age. Let's just say when I was younger, I met some dude online, and he was nice as hell, and off the bat, like, you know, a few sentences in, he was like, oh, wow, you're super fucking pretty. Hey, can I tell you a few things about myself? And I said, yeah, sure, go ahead. And he said, okay, so first off, I love using dragon dildos. I love fucking myself in the ass with dragon dildos. It is one of my favorite things to do, and I have a collection. And I was so, at first I was like, what the fuck? And then he said, and second, I love to wear dresses. Like, people always, I love sundresses. I think they're cute, and they fit my figure. Do you want to see? And I said, yeah, sure. Because he was just texting me on Discord, and I like, he couldn't see me make the face I made. But this was before I was non-binary and also still learning about certain genders and just a whole bunch of shit. So, but either way, I was like, that sounds, sure, fuck it, why not? I said, yeah, sure, show me. And then he showed me pictures. He was thick as fuck. He was a pog, fat ass white guy. Nigga was more caked up than a bakery. I swear to God, he awoken something in me. He awoken something very dangerous in me. But I also just told him straight up, that dress is actually super cute on you. It fits your figure like perfectly. Like, you got almost a natural born hourglass. And he loved that shit. And then when we first met up, he wore a dress, and I thought, yeah, this nigga's super cute. People were snickering at him in the street, and it's like, what? He looks fucking nice. Like, genuinely. And I'm not lying at all. He looked good as fuck in that dress. If you saw him, you'd be like, holy shit. Oh my God. Ass on Houston, Texas, but the face looks just like Bo Burnham. I swear to God, bruh. That actually applies to two different exes. But yeah, and then he took the gamble, and then it's like, okay. And then next thing you know, we kind of started a little situationship. And it was like, okay, he let me know off the bat. He didn't decide, okay, I'm gonna like put myself in the little closet with all my dresses and then just like refuse to tell my future partner about my interests. Like, no, then he would have just like caught me way off guard if he told me later. I hate people who tell me shit later. Tell me as soon as possible. Then I can at least know, okay, is this something I'm really not into? Or is this something I can get on and like learn about, research, all that shit? Like, you already heard the story about the guy who got his braces stuck in my cooch and had the pet play kink. You already know that video. It's got 45K views, and shout out to people who like it. Yay. But I'm not saying I have a problem with people who have pet kinks or want to be referred to as dogs or kitties or like, you know, like, I have mixed opinions on it. But for the most part, if he let me know sooner, it could have been like, I could have said, I'm not doing that shit with you. I apologize, and if that's a deal breaker, that's okay. Or I could have said, okay, let me research all this extra shit. And another fun anecdote, actually, there was this other guy. Straight up, we have an on and off situation. I degrade the shit out of him. He still likes to go after me anyway. We had a complicated thing. But I'm noticing a trend with men loving to be insulted by me and still going after me. Yeah, so this is not, he's one of many. But he had told me, hey, Tamia, out of curiosity, like, if we were like stuck alone on an island together, like, would you fuck me? Like, only last two people in the world stranded on an island? And I said, I guess if I were bored enough, yeah. Like, it's not like I have anything else to fucking do if I'm stranded on an island. And he was like, okay, would you fall in love with me? And I said, why the fuck are you asking me that? But then I stopped that sentence partially and said, you know what? Maybe. Like, if it's like for the rest of eternity, I have no one but you, maybe, just maybe, I could fall for you, date you, fuck you. Like, we'd have to repopulate the planet unless you pissed me off enough times, then I would just kill you and be alone on that island. And he was like, okay, cool, that's good to know. And then out of nowhere, he was like, okay, because I didn't know how to say this, but I have a sexual fantasy where sometimes it's like I masturbate to the idea of you and me being like the last two people on Earth or stranded on an island, and like you have no other options but me, but then you go from like hating me and resenting me and being disgusted by me to like learning more about me, finding like qualities you enjoy about me. And then next thing you know, we're fucking and dating and like having kids on that island. And then it was such a baffling message to get at like 1 a.m. Or actually, was it 5? I don't know what time. Just between the hours of 1 and 5 a.m. he was telling me this shit. And I was like, oof, that's a big bomb to drop on someone. Like, a fuck buddy who you have never historically cared about. You have fantasies where I like you and fuck you and bear your kids. Huh. And he said, and I apologize if this is weird or off-putting. Is this weird? And I said, actually, no. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I told his ass, don't even worry about it. Don't trip, because I have a sexual fantasy about you too. He was like, oh, word? I said, yes. I said, yes. I said, sometimes I have a sexual fantasy where like I marry you just for the sake of benefits. Like, let's say World War III started and you were about to get drafted into the war, but you needed to marry me to get but you needed to marry me to get war benefits. So therefore, we would be a fake married couple, and I would hate you the entire time. But at best, I'd tolerate you. But then once enough time goes past, you just come home and you fuck me all night long, like just to get all of that like post-war adrenaline and testosterone out your fucking system. So then it would be like I would hate you otherwise and barely tolerate being married to you, but you just come home and bust hella loads in me. And I hate that I'm not kidding. This is an actual. I have thought this. And then, of course, I was the nervous one, because it's like, okay, now I just told this dude who I barely fucking care about that if he was ever going to get drafted in the war and needed, like, extra spousal benefits, that I would marry him and have his kids while not loving him, but I wouldn't fuck the shit out of him for as long as he needed until he had to go back and fight or whatever. So then I was like, I'm sorry now. Is that weird? And he was like, holy shit, no. I never even knew you thought of me in that fucking way. And you know what happened? 5 hours in a fucking row of us nonstop spitballing tons of like crazy ass sexual fantasies that we had about each other. Like, next thing you know, he was like, oh yeah, while we're on the same topic, I've had sexual fantasies that the zombie apocalypse is happening and I rescue you and you're just like so like happy off of it, all adrenaline up and like gratitude filled that you just let me fuck you for like 24 hours straight. And I was like, yeah, that's hot as fuck. Oh my god, yeah. So it's like, you know, some people gotta, like, you know, I get why some people don't say some fantasies. Some shit is, like, you know, I've dated dudes, like, I'll just say it. Some fantasies don't apply. Like, if you're dating a rape victim and you're like, hey, just so you know, I have, like, a consensual non-consent fantasy. I remember a guy let me know about that before, like, ahead of time, and I let him know that I would not be doing it. And he thought, okay, the appropriate thing to do to this, like, rape victim is try to pressure her as much as possible into, like, letting me faux rape her. And it's like, sir... for obvious reasons, we never worked out. So for shit like that, but you know, it's good, because then you let people know off the bat. Like, I dated this one guy who let me know, okay, like, if we were to get like married or something one day, I would like definitely require like birth control, because I really have an unforgivable, like, always going to be present fetish for like cream pies and anal sex and yada yada yada. And it was like, okay, I can agree to one half of that, I can't agree to the other. And then simply put, we just, like, it lets people know your deal breakers. And also, if it does, like, you end up, like, rolling the dice and getting, like, I don't know, a fucking 10, and the girl likes whatever weird shit you're into, you just fucking win. You just fucking win. You have amazing conversations, you get even closer than before, you might make a new friend, new fuck, new life partner even. So just, I don't know. Just take the gamble at your own risk, because it's like, some shit's fun. Like, worst they can do is, I don't know, block you, call you disgusting, and say they're not into it. But aside from that, there's benefits. Anyway, sorry for laughing so much, because I guess this is an impromptu video. And I just realized how fucking absurd that conversation was the more I discussed it. Anyway, peace out.